Hey, welcome back to the channel. Have a wonderful porn-free day. I'll see you next time. Whoops. I think I got to the end a little bit prematurely on that one. Anyway, so porn-induced sexual dysfunctions, they can come in many forms, and I have heard a few times over the years that I don't talk enough about porn-induced premature ejaculation, including in the letter from today's Anon. He writes, "Hey Noah, I'm a 22-year-old virgin and about to be 23 in a month. I've been following you on YouTube for about 4 or 5 years now, and you're always talking about delayed ejaculation and PIED, but you never talk about premature ejaculation." And that's not entirely true. I do make I'm not sure I've made dedicated videos for this channel on it, but I do talk about it here and there, especially in the lives when it comes up. But I also guide people through it in my porn-induced sexual dysfunction recovery course, Reboot, Rewire, and on the Remojo app in the Overcoming Sexual Dysfunction course in there, there's a lesson on premature ejaculation recovery. So if the tips that I give you in today's video are not enough, you want to dive more in depth, then check out either of those sources. Linktree in the description will lead you to either of those. He writes, "I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I've heard about masturbation since age 13, and I tried to do it, and it didn't work for me, even though I used lube, and I tried to do it fast and hard for maybe over 30 minutes, but it just didn't work. Then at age 15, I did it using a specific movement for 20 minutes at least. Since then, I've taken less and less time each time I do it, and now I can maybe do it within a minute. So first, I guess I had some kind of delayed ejaculation, and over time it became somehow premature ejaculation. Unfortunately, a lot of sexual dysfunctions have to do with the idiosyncratic ways that people teach themselves how to masturbate. And most sexual education does not include instruction on the do's and don'ts of healthy masturbation or warnings about things like prone masturbation, death grip, unlubricated masturbation, and other things that are more likely to cause problems later on. And of course, using porn. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm on NoFap streak since 21st of April 2021, and to be honest with you, I break that streak once or twice every 2 to 3 months, but luckily, I managed to stop my bad habits, and I haven't broken it for the last 6 months until yesterday. Now my question is, will being on NoFap make me get back to my default state? And if yes, how long would it most likely take? And did breaking my streak for a day or two make me go back to square zero? I hope you answer. Thanks in advance. Well, first, people who develop porn-induced premature ejaculation often masturbated in such a way throughout the years that they were training their bodies to ejaculate as quickly as possible, either because they were avoiding capture, trying to finish as quickly as possible so they didn't get caught, they lived in a crowded house or something, or just because they wanted to get it done quickly and reach orgasm fast, because orgasm was the satisfying part of the experience for them, and they wanted to get there and then move on with their day. And this training does translate to real sex. If your body is used to ejaculation on a hair trigger, and then you think everything's going to be just fine during sex, well, it may be, but more likely you'll still have that problem that you trained into yourself when you go to have real sex, when you don't want it to be over as quickly as possible. And it doesn't sound like you, Anon, have had much sexual experience or tried to have sex, maybe at all, or maybe not very much. And it's pretty hard to tell how much progress you've made in your PIE recovery until you actually start rewiring. It's difficult to tell just by rebooting and not touching yourself, not having any sexual contact, whether or not the premature ejaculation is getting better. Now, many people do find that it naturally improves as they have time away from porn and from the masturbation habits that were paired with porn use, and as they practice real intimacy and sex. But if simply time and practice doesn't have the results that you're looking for, or you want extra tips that will empower you in the moment to have some more confidence about this issue, then you're in luck, because I have a few tips here that are the best and the most effective. There are more in those lessons that I mentioned earlier on Remojo or in my Reboot Rewire course, but this is plenty enough to give you an advantage and get you started. But before we get there, it is important to define premature. A lot of us have skewed perception of what male sexuality is supposed to look like and how long a sexual experience should last from the pornography that we've watched. And that's like learning how to drive from watching Fast and Furious movies. It's just not fair because a lot of those performers, they're not performing for their own pleasure. They're performing for the camera. And they're often using erectile dysfunction medications like Viagra, even injectable medications that they inject directly into the penis in order to maintain an erection for the hours needed to capture an entire production. And with editing, they might actually lose their erection or have a climax in mid-scene that is not shown in the final product. So it looks like they're just able to go and go and go for a long time before they reach orgasm. And if you've only had that window into what male sexuality looks like, and then you don't live up to that, you don't match that, you might think that there's something wrong with you. But in fact, it's that pornography is just plain unrealistic and not something that you should look to teach you how to have sex or what sex should look like. Now, what is the clinical definition of premature ejaculation? Well, it is, quote, premature ejaculation is a male sexual dysfunction characterized by ejaculation which always or nearly always occurs prior to or within about 1 minute of vaginal penetration, and inability to delay ejaculation on all or nearly all vaginal penetrations, and negative personal consequences such as distress, bother, frustration, and/or the avoidance of sexual intimacy. So if you're going for 3-4 minutes and then you have an ejaculation and you think you have premature ejaculation, well, actually, clinically speaking, you do not. That doesn't mean that you can't, however, learn ways in which you can last longer and enjoy sex for longer periods of time, however. So, first thing to know is that anxiety often plays a big role in premature ejaculation. Anxiety often causes one or both of two effects on male sexual arousal. Either it will make it difficult to get an erection and maintain an erection, or it will cause you to reach orgasm quickly. Now, if you think about this from the evolutionary perspective, it makes sense. If you're anxious, it probably means you're not in a safe situation. If you're not in a safe situation, it's still important to pass on your genes, but it's best to get that job done as quickly as possible so you can get your head on a swivel and have your situational awareness back up and keep yourself safe. Now, if you're relaxed, on the other hand, if you're just chilling out, you're totally at ease, then you can take your time. So if you are anxious about your sexual performance, probably because you've had premature ejaculation in the past, it's only likely to make things worse. So that leads us into our tips. Number one will be to recruit your partner's support. This is especially important if you have a long-term partner. They should know that this is something you're going through, that this is something you're working on. And yes, I know you probably don't want to embarrass yourself talking about how this is an issue for you. But if you actually want to be strong, it's important to forget about appearing strong for a while. So many guys are fixated on appearing strong that they hide their real vulnerabilities and struggles. Now, you got to ask yourself, do you want to appear strong or do you want to actually be strong? Because the strong move here is to have the courage to tell the truth about who you are, what you're dealing with, and make yourself vulnerable, knowing that this is the best way forward for you and for your partner. And when you do that, very likely the conversation's going to go well, and she's going to be interested in supporting you through this and practicing with you and helping you to adapt to the kind of sex that you both want to have. when you have your partner's support and understanding, you can let go of that feeling of like, oh, how am I going to explain this if it happens? Or what happens if, I go off, and how is she going to feel? It's going to be so embarrassing. No, you can remove those expectations and just relax and enjoy the experience when you both are on the same page and aware. Number 2 would be physical relaxation has an impact on the mind, and vice versa. So if your mind's anxious, it's going to be reflected in your body. Your muscles are going to be tense. Your breathing might change, become more shallow. You might even be holding your breath. Your heart's going to be going at a faster rate. You might not know how to calm your mind, but you can focus on calming your body. Focusing first on your breath. Breathing in a deep and slow inhalation into your belly, holding that breath for a moment at the top, and then fully releasing that exhalation, and keeping your breathing deep and rhythmic and slow in this fashion. Also, noticing any tension in your body and just shaking it out, letting it go, letting your body hang loose. This is going to have an effect of relaxation on your mind as well. When you're able to maintain an awareness of your breath and your body, letting go of any tension while you're in a sexual experience, that is going to help enormously to relax your mind, relax your body, and give you more control over your excitement and your ejaculation. The stop-start method is when you notice that you're getting too close to the edge, and you simply take a break. You can either just stop moving or pull out entirely. Give yourself at least 20 seconds. Just relax, lie back, cuddle, kiss, chat. And then when you're feeling a little bit more calm, you can re-engage. You might find that you need to do this several times in quick succession, but if you can get through those first few times, many men find that they reach a plateau where they're able to enjoy more vigorous sexual contact for a longer period of time after using the stop-start method a few times in the beginning. And the last tip for today's video is masturbation practice. If you're going to masturbate, then do so in a way that is training your body to last longer. You did it the opposite way for most of your life, training yourself to reach orgasm as quickly as possible. So now when you masturbate, not using porn, of course, and search my website for healthy masturbation, is masturbation healthy or not, for a guide on all the red flags and yellow flags to avoid if you're going to masturbate, and a guide on how to do so healthfully. But specific to the PE situation, if you're going to masturbate, use these techniques that we've talked about while you're masturbating. Relax your mind, relax your body, focus on your breath, stop and start, give yourself breaks, and go for at least 5 minutes, ideally more like 10 minutes before you orgasm. Because you're practicing these techniques and because you're training your body to last for longer, now this new practice is going to translate into the bedroom with a partner. All right, so this is my premature ejaculation video for all those of you who are asking for it. I hope this helps. Send me a message. Let me know how it goes. Noah@coachchurch.com. And you can find all my resources, ways to work with me, other resources on my website in the link tree down below in the description. All right, everybody, have a wonderful... Psych, not quite done yet. You've been watching this video all the way through, which tells me that you're someone who wants to learn as much as possible and do what it takes to overcome this issue in your life. So there's something new that I'm offering that I'd like to tell you about. For about 3 years now, I've run rebooter support and discussion groups. Through my Patreon, $40 a month, people can sign up, get access to my private Discord server. And we have 3 group video calls each week. Most people come to 1 per week. And it's a chance to just check in with people who are on the same or similar path that you're on. Talk with people who are going to understand about what you're experiencing, what you're going through. Ask and answer questions and build some friendships with people who understand exactly what it's like to struggle with porn-related problems. And that's been really great. It's been one of the favorite things that I've done in my business is build that community. And now I'm expanding that. I'm adding an additional tier on my Patreon for $120 a month, and it's group coaching. It's called the Reboot Academy. It's by far the most affordable way to get coaching from me, and it's in a group environment. This is one weekly call wherein you and your fellow classmates are arriving hungry to make your goals a reality. I'm going to be coaching each of you within this group context, as well as giving lessons that will apply to everyone, offering challenges and missions that you can accept week after week. And it's a way for you to plug into a consistent method of coaching that will allow you to really focus in on what you need to do in order to overcome not only the porn-related problems in your life, but to overcome whatever else is holding you back from living the kind of life and having the kind of successful and satisfying relationships that you desire. So spots in this group coaching option are limited. I don't want to have more than 10 people in a group so that everyone gets enough attention. If you've gone to my Patreon already after viewing this and see that it's already full, email me, noah@coachchurch.com, and tell me you're interested. If I have enough people interested and it's already full, I may start a second group and let you in on that opportunity. So if you're interested in that, go down below, click my link tree in the description, click on the group support and coaching option, and you can learn more about the Reboot Academy. All right, this is truly the end. Have a wonderful PMO-free day. I'll see you next time.